Alright, I'd like to show you a little jewel, another eBay find. This is the Littlest Secretary, produced by Grundig Corporation, called the MiniMemo. This was an advertisement from August 1968 on a Radio Electronics magazine, I think. This is an actual life-size, unretouched photo of MiniMemo. Well, this is not the actual size of the magazine article, but pretty close. Tiny she is, but she works like a battalion of real-life girls. You can whisper sweet nothings into her ear, or things of any time of the day or night, any place from your desk to a plane in flight to a lonely motel in East Albuquerque. She fits right into your shirt pocket like a pack of cigarettes, and when your best ideas come, she's always there to listen and remember. MiniMemo, complete with carrying strap, carrying case. To know her is to love her. This is the MiniMemo, and you can find a local dealer in your yellow pages. Well, here she is, the Grundig MiniMemo. You can see it's pretty small. This is my iPhone, and a little thick and a little bit heavier than an iPhone. If you know how heavy your iPhone is, just a little heavier, but pretty tiny little thing. It's got a little speaker. It's got the record, stop, locked position. Right now it's locked. There's a playback, a rewind setting. There's some kind of an external connector here. There's a little window to see the tape turning, and we'll look at the tape in a second. But other than that, there's no volume control or anything. So let's take a look. It does run on 2 AA batteries, and the tape itself, I'll show you here, is a cute little thing. Very well made. And I want to compare it to a couple of cassettes you're familiar with, of course. The standard compact cassette that all of us have used over the years, and the micro cassette, which Sony and some others used in a lot of their little dictating machines. This is a micro cassette that fits in this device. So this compares the size. There you go. Almost identical in thickness, and about the same size, a little larger. These were produced much later, probably not as early as 1968, probably more like the mid-1970s or even 80s. Well, I'm not sure about that, but I know for a fact that this device was produced around 67, 68. There's an interesting difference here. The tape recorders that we're most familiar with used a capstan and pinch roller to move the tape through. So the tape was pulled through by this super tiny little capstan pin drive and the rubber roller, and that's where they got the stabilized audio. This device, however, is pulled through the tape path by the drive spools themselves. So there are pins that pop up inside and engage with the holes on the tape, and the tape is pulled through the across the tape heads. If you'll notice here, there is no capstan roller. There's just the tape head, the playback and record head, and you can see the drives moving there. And if you go into record mode, you'll see the erase head right there. So it's an active, what they would call an AC bias record erase head. So it's not just a magnet. Some tape recorders, a lot of the tape recorders that I have and have demonstrated on my YouTube, just used a magnet to come in and demagnetize or magnetize the tape or scramble the recording of the previous recording into nothingness, and then it would record the new recording. So this is the setup for this particular model, using the reel-to-reel tape in a cassette format. You can see this is an original tape. It's got the de jure Grundig information on it, and made in Germany. So it's a real sweet little dictation device. I've experimented a little bit with the connectors and discovered that it does play out into a little amplified speaker or a set of headphones if you've got some. And I'm getting text here. And so I don't have any external device that works with this yet. I've got one coming that will snap into the top of this, and I believe will be a microphone and playback speaker. But we're going to record a little something here and play it back and just listen to the quality. So let's just go straight into record. And I'll pull this down so that you can see the tape moving. And I'm just going to talk directly into the microphone at a normal tone of voice, and we'll just see what kind of quality recording it makes. I've not done anything with the electronics. I'm sure that it needs capacitors. It does have 3 transistors. There's no telling if all 3 of them are working correctly, and we'll see in a minute that they, at least one of them is, but in any case, let's just see how it sounds. Let's stop the recording. All right.
I'll pull this down so that you can see the tape moving. And I'm just going to talk directly into the microphone at a normal tone of voice. We'll just see what kind of quality recording it makes. I've not done anything with the electronics. I'm sure that it needs capacitors. It does have 3 transistors. There's no telling if all 3 of them are working correctly. And we'll see in a minute that they, at least one of them is, but in any case, let's just see how it sounds.
Okay, so not great, but hey, it's 51 years old, so I don't sound as fresh as a daisy as I did when I was in 1968. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hook up this external speaker just very carefully here. I've got a little external speaker, Radio Shack speaker, and I'm going to rewind well, I'll try to rewind, get the tape set in there. There we go. All right, let's let it play.
It does have 3 transistors. There's no telling if all 3 of them are working correctly, and we'll see in a minute that they, at least one of them is, but in any case, let's just see how it sounds.
Okay, so clearly these connectors are for an external amplified, either a headphone or an external speaker of some kind. And I suspect that there's also an external microphone. The warble, I believe, is the inefficiency of the tape to pull across the head, but there could be some components that are damaged and not working all that great, which might be the reason for the quality. Just for fun, let's record a little bit of music here. This obviously was not designed for music, but let's listen to the Carpenters. Christmas, we can't listen to much or we'll get flags from YouTube, but let's just record. Let me get the tape pushed back in here. Go into record. There we go. The recording.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth.
All right, we'll stop it there. So we don't want to get, again, we don't want to, all right. And let's just hook up the little external speaker again. Got a couple little screws here that kind of sort of fit into the connector. Let's just see how it does. Okay, so there you go. Clearly not an audio recording device, but you know what? I'm just thrilled to have a little piece of recording history, and the sweet little secretary that you can whisper sweet nothings in her ear just about anywhere on a plane or in a Fleabag motel. What did it say here? A lonely motel in East Albuquerque. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you think in your comments below there. I always appreciate comments, thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, you'll see a lot of unusual videos like this, anywhere from ham radio contacts to electronics repairs, 3D printing, and unusual vintage electronics, various things like that. So thanks again for watching.